This is the Barbados Today afternoon news for Monday, November 13. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. Management of the Barbados Transport Board is in the dark over the reason for an apparent wildcat strike early this morning by the close to 800 unionized workers. From as early as 3:30, the disgruntled workers walked off the job after reporting for duty. All Transport Board buses were off the road except for the chartered services and those for the disabled. Buses servicing the Bridgetown to Garrison Warrens and the Bridgetown to Martins Bay routes were in operation. Hundreds of school children and other commuters were forced to make alternate plans to get to their destinations. The Marketing and Corporate Communications Manager, Linda Holder, told Barbados Today that while she is aware of some ongoing concerns, management was not officially informed of the reason for the strike.
At this point in time, I have not been given any reason for the strike. I do believe that we have been trying to reach representation from the headquarters, the Barbados Workers Union headquarters. I understand that the employees that are on the road are also speaking directly to the Barbados Workers Union. So we're just waiting for them to come back to us to let us know what is happening.
Holder says management will decide on the next steps as soon as they are made aware for the reason for today's industrial action.
We do have contingency plans in place, usually for wildcat strikes, but the challenge is that this is organizational wide. So even our backup persons would have been pulled out. So we have to wait and see what is going to be the discussion, and then we'll be able to go from there.
It is not known how long the strike will continue, and Chairman of the Barbados Private Sector Association, Charles Herbert, says that the privately operated public service vehicles will have to pick up the slack. In other news this afternoon, Prime Minister Freundel Stuart tells Barbadians that their consumption habits are contributing to the country's low foreign reserves. Addressing a joint branch meeting of the Democratic Labour Party's St. Michael constituencies yesterday, Stuart argued that government cannot be blamed for the state of the international reserves. In September, they dropped further below the 12-week benchmark to reach just 8.6 weeks of imports.
When you hear that our foreign reserves are under pressure, it is because of what we import and what you go on supermarket shelves and see. It is not that anybody in the government is stealing foreign currency and carrying it home and putting it under the bed. The 130,000 vehicles on the streets of Barbados, we were told this in the cabinet last Thursday by the Ministry of Transport and Works. 130,000 vehicles on the streets of Barbados. Not one was manufactured here in Barbados. They were all bought with foreign currency out of Japan and those other countries from which, from time to time, we may import motor vehicles. That is where the foreign currency goes. In that kind of importing, and of course, in the 10 or 15 different types of detergent that you see on the supermarket shelves, and the wide range of nuts and salted chips and so on, none of which we produce here, but which have captured the tastes of people in the population.
The National Union of Public Workers has called a meeting of immigration officers for Wednesday afternoon at 5:30. A statement from the union says the meeting will give an update on the proposed move to new headquarters and the proposed moving date. General Secretary of the NUPW says the move was originally scheduled for June 30th this year, but there has been a 4-month delay. The union further states that it is concerned about the health of its members since over 3/4 of staff are experiencing challenges which it says were brought on by the current working environment.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Indulge your every craving at this year's Barbados Food and Rum Festival, November 16th to 19th. Thursday, the festival kicks off at Oystons. Friday, the Barbados Concord Experience, 8 chefs, 6 mixologists and the energetic Spice & Company. Saturday, taste the spirits of polo featuring Chef Jason Howard. This would not be Barbados without a beach party. Sunday, enjoy an impressive lineup of Barbadian entertainers at the Hilton for Feet in the Sand. And the weekend would not be complete without the gourmet safari dinner series at the Cliff, the Crane and the Tides. Remember, November 16th to 19th. Get your tickets at TicketPal box offices today.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back now with news from the region. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Keith Rowley has announced that travelers between Port of Spain and Tobago will soon have some relief with a new ferry service to begin operations soon. For months, passengers have been voicing their frustration over the lack of a reliable service between the two islands.
Air and sea transport between Trinidad and Tobago are engaging our very close attention, and we have ensured that whatever is to be pursued in this regard will have some direct inputs from the people of Tobago. We will keep you abreast of progress being made. Given the procurement process which the port is engaged in at the moment, I expect that an additional passenger ferry will be on the route very soon. The coming of this vessel, bringing additional capacity and more reliable sailings, will go a long way towards eliminating the hardships which have been associated with this service in the recent months.
And the Caribbean Development Bank this week joins other regional organizations in calling for climate action and resilient recovery in the Caribbean at the UN Climate Change Conference being held in Bonn, Germany. The bank is also expected to sign a $24 million agreement with the European Investment Bank for post-disaster reconstruction. Several Caribbean islands were devastated by Hurricanes Irma and Maria in September. And on the international scene, rescue teams have been sifting through demolished buildings in Iraq a day after a magnitude 7.3 earthquake struck. At least 6 people were killed in Iraq and more than 300 died across the border in Iran. Electricity was cut off in several cities, and fears of aftershocks sent thousands of people in both countries out onto the streets and parks in cold weather. The head of the Iranian Red Crescent says more than 70,000 people are in need of emergency shelter. That's news this afternoon. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good afternoon.